the
Okay.
scanners and things like that. I buy them in bulk. I spend about $18 million a month buying those. Right now, the medical board says that's a felony, right? And so we're not, and for you to have that information, that's also illegal. A good buddy of mine is a programmer, used to work for the CIA. You realize I'm in 10 different markets.
Yeah, I've seen your thing like everywhere. Your new mail.
So you guys don't have anybody in Vegas, Albuquerque, Omaha, Denver, Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay, Charlotte, Tampa, Miami?
Yeah, so it's like a geological area kind of thing.
You know, like I said, I'm the largest provider of these services in the country.
Yeah, we can get onboarded now. So take card details whenever you're ready.
All right, it's 3727.
I want to show you guys the sales call that I recently took, and I sold the client, right? So I sold it for about 3K per month, 3K ad spend, and I kind of want you guys to watch throughout the entire sales call how I built the momentum throughout the start of the video through the end, and how I kind of got him to give me card details over the phone. You guys kind of get on the phone with the prospect, right? I want you guys clear intentions to get payment over the phone, because you guys already know that, you know, if you don't get payment over the phone, 90% of the chance they're not going to go ahead, right? You don't want to give them too much time to think outside of the sales call, and you know, they're going to say some BS like, oh, I got to get her over with my wife, I got to check my bank statements. Like, what does that even mean, right? You guys need to have clear intentions that you guys are getting payment over the phone, and end that call with getting payment over the phone. So watch how I kind of did that, and let me know what I did throughout the end. We're just going to go over some of the problems most clinic owners face, right? Some of the old ways of doing things, some of the new ways, and our offer at the end. We'll go over that. So we have a cap of 22 clinics, right? And that's hormone therapy only, right? This is just because like we'd rather work with bigger clients, like if fewer and bigger, so you can prefer quality over quantity, and it's just better service, right? And you guys, bigger clinics, they also have better sales team, so that makes our job even easier, right? Because you're closing, your receptionist is closing, right? So it's just their hassle. So like I mentioned before, like you've already heard this stuff before, right? These marketing agencies, I'm sure you got pitched a lot. So did you guys actually work with like some of like a marketing agency? Like,
No, as I said, I own an agency, so I had just internal people that was working for me. Like most of the stuff. So I'm a when it comes to traditional media, traditional media stuff, I've been doing it for so long. I only have a dozen clients, if that, and they're all huge, right? And so, but then I have like I'm a clearinghouse, if you know what that is. So I buy internet placements for like digital ads, like the banners and things like that. I buy them in bulk. I spend about $18 million a month buying those, and then I resell them back to the radio stations and television stations so they can sell them to their clients, right?
Yeah.
So I make a nickel on every dollar that they sell, type of a thing. So actually, it's like
that makes sense.
Yeah, so
that's pretty nice business model.
It adds up if they pay. That's if they pay, if the clients pay. So, but yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean, I get pitched all the time by different people, or they come and say, hey, it is what it is, and I get it. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time, but I don't know everything new. So
exactly, yeah. So like what I can tell you, since I've been in the space for a bit, right? These marketing agencies, like let's say they run your ads, they do lead gen, they've kind of like ruined the rep, right? Because like they don't understand that you don't care about leads, you care about patients walking through the door, right? They get you these crappy leads, like they basically like. They don't know what procedure they're getting, right? They're just like people who are from a completely different planet. These guys, they don't know how much the price is. They're broke clients. They're just throwing leads at you, right? That's why we're kind of taking like a different approach. We're making sure the people are not broke, right? They can afford the procedure. Let's say if you want insurance for labs, they have insurance for labs. I just qualify them and then send them over to you, right? We're not just sending you over. People come through the ad. So like I mentioned, our main goal is to make you the best therapy clinic in your city, right? Because like if we work with you, we can't work with another clinic in your area, right? Okay. So let's just talk about SEO. I'm pretty sure you've heard of SEO, and like a lot of clinic owners are doing SEO, right? So let's just talk about it. So before, in the past, if you want to, like, let's say market online, right? You went on Google, did some AdWords, like rank, right? So the only problem with this right now, because there's so much competition, like 97% of the traffic just like bounces off, right? Only 3% is converting, because people, they go on your page, they're looking at your FAQs, your about us, your results, and then they're off to the next clinic to price shop. Right, so that's just a problem with Google. So I mean, you're not maximizing your advertising dollars. And then, like we mentioned, for marketing agencies, unqualified patients throw leads at you, and you waste money, time, plus your clinic's left with like a bad reputation. The thing is, like with these marketing agencies, they try to target like all audiences, right? Like they would target like wellness clinics, like let's say IV therapy, weight loss, B12, all these other treatments, right? When you target everyone, you're not going to get anyone, right? That's why we go for a very like narrow and specific target audience. So it'd be like men over the age of like blank in your city, and then list the symptoms and then catch them on spot. This is kind of how it would look like, right? So like let's say we have your ad up, right? And then we'd have the pains, the whole ad copy thing, and then it would take them directly to a lead form. Right. This is where they're kind of filtered out. We ask them, okay, have you done hormone therapy in the past? Do you have insurance for labs? All these like qualifying questions. So we make sure they're not like unqualified. And then right from that lead form, they get taken to a booking page where they would book like a consultation with you guys. Right. Let's say they were to book a consultation, and then after that, they would be called up by your receptionist once they're qualified, right? And then your receptionist would take like a prepaid deposit just to confirm their booking, and then they'd be ready to come in, right? So tell me what your consultation process is like right now. Like, are you guys doing like Zoom meetings? Are you guys doing in-person stuff?
Yeah, that's telemedicine. We don't do any of that. So it's actually for controlled substances, which hormones are. It's really questionable whether that's legal or not. I know a lot of doctors are doing it right now. The medical board says that's a felony, right? And so we're not. Yeah, Zoom meeting, any type of telemedicine when you're dealing in controlled substance, that is a felony. So yeah, even if you have, so it's, especially if it's over state lines, it's a lot of questionable stuff right now. Some markets say it's a gray area, and some have just said nope, because they want you to physically have touched that patient before, right? So My offices were a little bit different. We're concierge medicine. I don't take insurance at all. I'm all fee for service. I'm all cash based.
Okay.
All of my offices are moderately complex labs. So they do blood work right here on site. My machines run their blood work, and I know if they're a candidate or not right then and there. I can also send people off to Quest if they need to, but for the most part, everybody just does the blood work in my offices. I also don't do a lot of injectable testosterone. Most of the time I do the pellets, which is a surgical implementation of that, but I can do injectables. I don't do creams or gels. And I like I said, I don't take insurance. So your lead form is great. I don't have a way for people to book online with me right now.
Yeah, we'll be making that, so you don't even have to worry about that stuff. Right, so we have another clinic right now. They're doing Zoom consultations, but they're doing in-person stuff. So like they're doing pellets as well. Just like when a person comes in, they go to that booking page, and then once they book in for their Zoom consultation, right, then they're called up. They're like, okay, there's a $50 deposit for the Zoom consultation. And prior to the Zoom consultation, the clinic actually calls them and says, okay, you can go here to get your blood work done. And then on the Zoom consultation, they would go over the blood work results, kind of see if they're qualified, and if they are, they get sent right over to come in and get the procedure right there and then. So it's a nice approach you guys are taking as well, right? You guys are doing the blood work there, so that's way easier.
Yeah. I mean, that's how we do things. The question I have for you is, so your guys' booking page, I get, you guys want to be able to track who's actually booking for your guys' own success rate. The problem is I don't have a way of actually honoring those times if somebody is booking something like that. I don't have an integration way of dealing with my EMR. It's a closed system for HIPAA, right? It's a gray area too. So here's the thing. I mean, if you did that, that's a lead, right? Once I talk to them, it becomes a patient. And for you to have that information, that's also illegal, right? Because there's not a HIPAA thing. So we have to be careful on that. But the idea is, I'm not opposed to it if it was a booking page to talk to somebody about what to expect type of a thing, or like a pre-consult. But it wouldn't be I'm not going to send them off to do blood work. I'm not going to have them come in and do blood work until they're a patient. So if they were going to be booking, it would be more of a, and I don't want them to book twice, right? It would be more, but it would be more like schedule a time to talk to somebody, but something like that.
Yeah. So instead of like, let's say a Zoom meeting, right? They would schedule a time, any date to talk to your front desk, let's say, right? We could have that system in place where like they come in through lead form, they're kind of nurtured, filtered out. And we also have our system in the back that's sending them like these messages, right? Because like, let's say someone enters a lead form, right? They forget about it within like the next hour or so, right? So that's within like the first 5 seconds, we're messaging them. We're like, okay, thanks for claiming. What kind of symptoms are you facing? And the thing is, your whole staff, they would basically have login access to whatever's happening in the backend, right? We're just gonna go over that. So yeah, so right here, this is like our software, right? So this is when we have an app as well, right? So like, let's say a new person comes in, your whole staff would have access to this, by the way. A new person comes in, it shows up right there, new person, and then hot lead would be like someone who's talked to you guys or, has symptoms, they've messaged and they've clearly have symptoms. That'll be a hot lead. Booking requested, someone who's like, okay, like I want to come in. You see they're at that stage, booking confirmed, and then people who actually bought the treatment, right? So you can see exactly what the numbers are, exactly how many people are coming, how many are actually converting, all that stuff in the back end. And this with the automations, right? These guys, when they fill out their information within the first 5 seconds, their message are like, hey, this is blank with company name, and we're doing this offer, whatever, we have this many spots left, and click whatever to confirm, right? And then once they confirm, then your front desk or whatever would call them up, get that pre-consultation, and then get them booked in if they're qualified. So okay, yeah, you can understand how it's going through.
Yep.
Yeah, so let me show you an ad copy. This is an ad copy ran in the past, right? Some of these words are now blocked by Facebook, but we have different approaches to it. So like we'd say city men over 40 or over 35. We list out the symptoms, right? And then once we list out the symptoms, we need an offer, right? We need an incentive for them to come in. So we'd say blank off, 10% off, whatever. We'd actually just up the price on our treatment and say 10% off. And then we'd say the symptoms to be okay, like I'm a guy over 35, I'm not getting any muscle, like my drive is really low, all that stuff. And then they see the benefits, and then they basically urgency, right? So we'd say, okay, this many vouchers available for the 10% off, whatever. And first 24 people that sign up, and they're like, okay, they have the offer, they have the symptoms, they have the urgency, they click the ad, and boom, we have them on the spot, right? Just kind of how like an ad copy, like an example of an ad copy, right? And then we also have our patient referral system. So like once they're done with the treatment, we give them like an incentive to like, refer someone, all that stuff, give them rewards. Because like marketing, it's great seeing an ad and then coming in, right? But what's better is if someone gives you like a referral, right? Because like they've gone through the treatment before, they're more familiar. So that's a better, more higher quality patient. Right? And then we also have so this is just one of the ad accounts of one of our clients, right? We asked for permission to share some of this stuff. We're getting leads for about $9. It went to $5, but now it's like about $9, hovering around that range. And they're just getting good leads within the first month, right? So I'm not sure if I added this.
So you guys do other advertising for them beyond just, or is that their advertising account that you guys just have access to?
These are the treatments that they're doing. We're only managing like the hormone therapy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why the leads that they're getting are about $74, $105. But yeah. Okay. So we also had our Google review campaign, right? So like after every person's done with the thing, they basically message about an incentive for the Google review. So we have the referral system, the Google review system. So you kind of like understand how we're not like a marketing agency per se, right? So we're like,
well, you're very niche marketing. I get what you're doing. You're very niche and trying to do an all-in-one. Who built your system, just out of curiosity? Your funnel system.
We have like 12 people that are like doing stuff in the back end, right? So we're kind of like all working on together. We have like a media buyer who runs the ads. We have a copywriter.
No, I meant your actual system for the funnel system. Who built it?
The funnel system?
Yeah. Did one of you guys build it? Is it a custom one, or you guys just found one online?
No, one of our team members built it.
Okay, that was my question. Yeah, finding a good funnel system is good. You know, it's I have this thing I call it the box that I've been developing for a few years that takes all the stuff that you do, both digitally and everything else, and they can tie it all back. Like I have stuff. A good buddy of mine who's a programmer, used to work for the CIA. He developed some stuff that they use it now for like retargeting campaigns, but it's pretty scary the stuff we can get on somebody and where you've been, what other stuff you look at, and things like that. But so what is the cost? You guys just take a percentage, or how do you guys get paid?
Yeah. So before we actually move on to price, tell me how you're kind of feeling about this. Like, does it make sense? Like, what kind of questions do you have?
I don't have any questions in it. I mean, it makes sense of what you guys are offering. And if you guys, like I said, if you guys have the secret sauce on what you can and can't say, what happens if you get somebody's ad account blocked because you're using the wrong keywords?
I mean, that hasn't happened so far yet. It's been the policy like at least 100 times, right? Because this is really like sensitive stuff, hormone therapy. Right?
So what do you guys do for female hormones?
We do estrogen therapy. It's just the same thing.
But estrogen's only a piece of hormone therapy. They do testosterone for women. Marketing for female therapy shouldn't be estrogen driven. It's bioidentical hormone driven. That's the way it's easier, because there's thyroid, there's progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. There's a number of them that typically get done.
Yeah. So I mean, we wouldn't run the same ad as men and female, right? So we'd have a complete different campaign for that. So we'd say like symptoms like menopause, or just like mention women's symptoms.
Yeah. No, the female stuff hasn't been as bad. I just don't do them, but they used to be really, really good. They were easier. They weren't getting blocked. So again, all right. So my next question, price. I apologize. I'm late for another call. So I'd like to find out what you guys are asking.
All right, so let's just go over what comes in. So we have our marketing campaigns management, right? Someone who manages your campaigns every day. We have our software and app, right? We have our copywriter who writes your copy to like make it targeted towards the patient, let's say, right? We have a media buyer who makes your ad copies, he makes your ad creatives, right? They're testing different creatives every day, making sure your lead cost is low. We have a funnel designer, like I mentioned, he designs all your funnels, goes deep into that. We have our Facebook rep, and then we have our retargeting campaigns. And you also have our exclusivity, where we can only work with you and no one else in your area. Plus we have a referral system, our Google review system. So it comes out to about $24.97 per month. But if you were to sign up today, let's say, we take off the setup fee and come out to $19.97.
So it's $2,000 a month, but that's just your fee. And then I have to pay for whatever ads that I'm doing on top of that.
Yeah, ad spend, we recommend like a minimum of like $40 a day.
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned you only work with one thing. You realize I'm in 10 different markets.
You're in, I've seen your thing like everywhere, your new mail.
So you guys don't have anybody in Vegas, Albuquerque, Omaha, Denver, Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay, Charlotte, Tampa, Miami, or anything like that?
I mean, that's kind of different because we're only running ads for your current location, right? Where's your like main location? Kind of?
The cities I just listed. I have a clinic in every one of those cities. That's my point. If I run an ad for Vegas, it's going to be the same ad I run in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm going to run the same ad in Chicago and Omaha, Nebraska, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Green Bay, Charlotte, Denver, and Tampa and Miami.
Okay, so kind of how it works, we wouldn't run the same exact ad, right? Because we have to look at the other market as well. So like what we do is, before we're building out your funnels and stuff, we go through like all the other testosterone clinics in your area and see how we can actually like one up them, right? Kind of like be better than them in each incentive, have a better offer than them, have a better like discount, whatever, right?
So what market are you talking to me today about?
You're the one that which one are you in currently? Like your main one where I kind of
they're all the same. They're all the same. There is no main one. That's my question. They're all my clinics. So I'm all over the place. Like right now I'm physically in Las Vegas, Nevada, but that doesn't mean anything. That's because I don't work in the clinic. Well, I do, but I don't. But I have an office here in Las Vegas and I have an office out in Miami. So it just depends on what side of the country I'm on, because I have clinics all over, right?
Yeah, so it's like a geological area kind of thing. So what kind of clinic would you be able to like get started with?
Well, that's my point. My Facebook, if you look at it, it's not one. When I run an ad, I run it in all of the markets that I'm in at the same time, right? So when I do it, I'm running a daily spend of, like I just did a thing of launching announcing my expansion, my female brands, NewFem, right? And I ran it in each one of the DMAs I'm in, $50 a day or something like that, for a week, to get out there. I'll spend $500 on doing it and I'll reach 40,000 people, right? But so that's my question. If you guys have an exclusivity deal, that's my question for you. I have clinics all over the country. If you're going to run one ad, I'm going to run the same ad everywhere. I don't see why you wouldn't want to run the same ad everywhere unless you guys have, something else. So that's my question. Do you guys already have somebody in my other areas? Like I saw you have somebody in Bakersfield. I'm not in Bakersfield. I could care less, right? When I go to Southern California here in a few months, I'm going to be in Los Angeles. I'm going to be in the Inland Empire, which technically Bakersfield is, but nowhere near where they are. And then Orange County, right? Yeah. I'm a different beast. I'm not a one, even though I have big clinics, I'm not a one clinic thing. Like I said, I'm the largest provider of these services in the country. I've also been doing it longer. So most of the people that are my competition either worked for me or I trained one period of time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, I mean, it would really depend on the geological location, right? It's like a mile radius kind of thing. It's not like a whole city, right? It's like a mile radius kind of thing. So like Seattle, like an area in Seattle where one of our clinics are, like Bakersfield, like you mentioned, and like it's just scattered throughout the US, but it's like, it would be like a mile radius thing.
So,
right?
So in Chicago, I'm in Skokie, which is North Chicago, right? But Albuquerque, 30 miles will cover all of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Omaha, Nebraska, that'll cover all of Omaha, Nebraska. Denver, no, but I'm smack in the middle of Denver. So, I'm I guess that's my only question. If I'm running it in one, I'm going to run it in everywhere. And then, because I do male and female.
Yeah. So
how do you guys address that?
So like kind of in our software, we have like different sub accounts for like, let's say each city, right? Because so we know exactly where the patients are coming from. Right? So it would be like your sub account. And if you wanted to work with like the other areas as well, right? So it'd be multiple different sub accounts. Right? And then there you can see there's a section for ERT, which you have for another clinic. It could be women's, it could be a men's section. And you can see each lead that comes in for men's and women's, right? So it's like, it's linked to the Facebook field forms and it's linked. We have different funnels for the men and women as well. right? So it's like completely different than the.
All right. Well, let's say this. Let's say I'll give it a shot. I'll try it out, and I'll try it out in 2 markets. Let's say I try it in Las Vegas and Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay. But I want to do it for the guys and the girls, and use it for the BHRT for women and the testosterone for the guys. And let's see what your guys' campaign can do.
Okay. Yeah, we could run those 2 markets as well, right? But the thing is, like, that 1997, it's not covering like a whole different clinic, right? Because we go clinic by clinic, right?
Okay. So you want $2,000 per clinic?
Yeah, around there. But we could do like a deal, right? We could take something off because it's not like a whole different clinic. It's just like another area per clinic, right? Because it's like the same amount of effort, right? Because we're running like different campaigns for each area, right? Because we're managing the leads that come in from each area. Right. I'm pretty sure you've done it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like here in Vegas, I have a call center of 20 people. That's all they do is text, chat, everything else, right? This is, to me, it's just it's another form fill, but it's an avenue that I'm not currently going down. And then I've been looking, like I said, I'm building my Facebook page, my new one right now, my new Instagram and all of that. And it's going to be a combined male and female one, okay? So I mean, like I said, I'm interested in giving it a shot. I'll take a look see how your system kind of works. You know, I am a little more scared about the whole scheduling thing because that's something I don't do. I get you guys want to track it. It would be easier for me.
Yeah, so like, I mean, it's not
even the HIPAA thing. I'm not worried about that. It's because, again, if they're not a patient of mine yet, they're just a lead, right? So that I'm not afraid of. My concern is if somebody says I want to come in Monday at 4 o'clock, you know, and they show up because they didn't answer their phone or anything else, I'm not going to see them, right? It doesn't work that way. I have limited space, everything else. So
So the person that schedules, they're not scheduled yet. That's just like an estimate of what time they would be able to come in, right? Nothing is actually cleared when they actually schedule. They're only scheduled if someone talks to them from your team, right? That's the only way.
So they're saying, hey, when would you like to come in? You prefer a time, and then somebody's going to call to confirm with you.
Confirm. If they're not confirmed, then they're not going to be counted.
Now, as far as the questions that get asked on the form fill, is that something we can, like you kept mentioning, like, hey, do you have insurance for this? I don't take insurance at all.
Yeah. So I mean, that could also be personalized by you. This is just so we add like a filter, right? Because some people, like, they don't even know what they're doing when they're signing up for Facebook forums, right? This is just so like they're real people, basically. That's just like a filtering, right? So we could ask questions like, you know, have you done hormone therapy before? What kind of symptoms? Well, we can't ask symptoms because that's illegal. I mean, not illegal, but like Facebook doesn't allow that. But like, you could say, have you had hormone therapy in the past? You could say what area you're locating. Anything that just like filters someone from like not acting like a bot. You know, that's just what the lead form is. So
I guess, you know, have you done hormone therapy? Are you currently on hormone therapy? How long ago? You know, a good thing would be like, when's your last? When would you have your last labs drawn? Or like, when did your last blood work done? You can't ask that either.
No, you can't even say the word like you, right? So that's why, it's like crazy. You can't imply that someone else will be getting. So like our copyright, he has ways of like.
Well, see, this is why I don't do it, because this is how I got banned, right? Because I was asking things that I thought were pretty much no brainer, and they're like, oh, you hurt somebody's feelings because you put, you know, they're like, I remember I yelled at the lady on Facebook. She was like, you're implying it's bad to be fat and bald, and I was like, I am fat and bald, or I was, you know, I'm like, you know, so yeah, I can tell you it's bad, right? You know, and it's you know, it's stupid, but yeah, I mean, I'm interested in taking a look and seeing how long does it take to launch one of your guys' programs.
So exactly, so like, let's say you were to sign up today, exactly 1 week, we would build out your campaigns, we'd build out the funnels, all the other stuff, and then we'd have the onboarding call in exactly 1 week, and then we just launch right then and there. We'd have our testing phase and just launch right then and there, exactly a week from now.
Yeah, I'd be interested, but I'd like to get these things launched, you know, starting Monday or something. So I'd rather have an onboarding call. I don't have time today, but I'd rather have an onboarding call in the morning and walk through this and do it.
I mean, honestly, the faster the better for us as well, right? Because we want to get launched up as soon as possible, get out of the way. So I mean, we could do something on Monday. We could do the onboarding call, you know, just link your stuff and just start then there.
I think you guys just need access to my ad account is all it is, or something like that.
That's all we just need access to your ad account, and yeah, it should be good from there.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, what time? Let me see what I have Monday going on. Give me a second. And my call was at 1:30, not 1, so I was lucky there. I was like, okay. Monday. Oh shit, I might be in Tampa.
Let's do 10.
Okay. Let me give you my email address. Send me over a link for it, an email with a calendar invite, so I don't get double booked. My email address is.
And so like we mentioned about the 2 clinics, right? It was $19.97 per clinic, but we could do a deal of $29.97 for both the clinics together, right?
Oh, so we're gonna do Vegas and Albuquerque.
Yeah, for both clinics. You want to get started both, right?
Yes. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we can get onboarded now. So I can take card details whenever you're ready.
All right, it's 3727.
I'm gonna stop it right there. So do you guys see how I kind of built the momentum throughout the sales call? And I basically assumed the close, right? I said, okay, let's get the onboarding call scheduled. You know, this time works for you, blah, blah, whatever, you know. And then I said, okay, perfect. Everything's ready to go. We can get onboarded now. So card details whenever you're ready. The only problem I kind of made was I didn't look directly at the camera, right? I was looking down at my Stripe account because I was pulling it up, whatever. Another thing I see most agency owners do, they're sending them Stripe links, right? You don't want to be sending any Stripe links through our email, through the Zoom link even, right? Because that's an easy objection. Anyone can just say, okay, yeah, I'll get this link reviewed later, or I'll pay later, right? That's an easy objection. And you guys know, they're 90% of the time, they're not going to pay through that link, right? You don't want to hop off the call till they've paid, because you don't want to give them time to think throughout the sales call. You want to sell them the dream, sell them vacation, and catch them on the spot, right? You don't want to give them time to think. Best thing for taking card details is you share your screen, you pull up Stripe, you say, all right, email, card, is the name same on file, card details whenever you're ready, Visa starting with 4, American Express starting with 3. You know, you can kind of say that and assume the close throughout that way as well. Obviously, this wasn't perfect, right? You know, there's many things I could have changed, so I don't want you guys to copy this word for word and kind of innovate on your end, right? If you guys can't innovate, go get a 9 to 5, right? This thing isn't for you. Say card details whenever you're ready, and that's it. You don't say a single word. Just wait wait for them to respond, and you're gonna see that they're gonna kind of have an urgency, right? They're gonna be looking for their card. Oh, okay, like, I gotta get this paid, whatever. They're gonna have that urgency. You don't want to ask them, oh, can I take your card details? Do you want to get started? They made it to the end of the call. They're interested. They're like, okay, this sounds pretty cool. So why would you guys not assume the close, right? There's no point of you asking, do you want to go ahead? You want to say, okay, perfect, everything looks good to go. You're interested, blah blah, whatever. Card details when you're ready. Look straight at the camera and take payment, right? This is all implying that you had a good intro, you guys had a good sales call, and had good momentum with the client, right? Because without that, there's no point of doing this stuff. There's no point of whatever I just said today. So we'll go over that on another day, how to build the intro frame, how to build the whole framework throughout the whole demo process. Till then, if you guys have any questions, you guys can hit me up on Instagram below. Ask me any questions. Next week, I'm going to be doing a series on how I get these clients, a super untapped method I see no one on SMA YouTube doing. So hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next week.